decided to start another channel. It's a little bit more serious than the other ones that I put out. I'd been conversing with some people on TikTok about gang stalking, community policing, multiple perpetrator stalking. I guess I asked a very serious question to them. I'm like, what is really stopping us from going online and telling all of our stories united together? Somebody told me in response, they said, well, we're afraid that we're going to be meeting up with victims instead of stalkers. You've probably been with stalkers for years. You've probably been surrounded by stalkers for years. What do you have to be afraid of? I'm going to read you a description of what this actually is about, what this channel actually means to me. Gang stalking, community policing, multiple perpetrator stalking. Coming soon is a time where all of these secrets will be exposed, the lists, the programs, the lies. Everything in the dark will come to the surface, but our abusers don't want us to be the ones to tell our stories. What they have done comes, when what they've done come to the surface, they want to display the watered down truth to the public. They want to tell a version that doesn't paint them as they are, covert perverts and obsessive, power-mad narcissists. Until we're silenced or complicit, they'll continue to label us as crazy, paranoid, deluded schizophrenics. If we show them that we are sane, stable, organized, and able to honestly and soundly converse with the unaware public that these things are happening behind closed doors, the mental health argument goes out the door. We will take what gang stalking is and turn it into an instrument for good, protecting ourselves and the future victims, because no one is free until we are all free. We all know what gang stalking is. It is just what it sounds like. It's gang stalking. In my community, it was used under the guise as community policing. They're just looking at people, mental health disorders, people that haven't really been able to get themselves off their feet, people that are kind of seen as the dregs of society. Maybe they had family members, military ties, or something like that just said, get this disgrace out of here, get them to get themselves out of here, or get them in shape. And I am so very grateful that they could help me do this. And I am really not interested in, but I'm really not interested in hearing them tell me or tell anybody else that this was because of their efforts. This was me. This was me, and this was God. I am actually on probation currently. What I meant, what I said was, eventually these programs are going to come into the light, and they want to tell a watered down version of these events and why these programs are necessary. When in fact, most of us, we were doing fine before the program started. We needed a little push, yes. But I don't know about you, but something about allowing them to stamp their name on my hard work, my internal battle, when all their efforts were to make it worse so that they could come in and make it better, or say that they made it better. We aren't going to be doing that. I'm on probation. I haven't been involved in any programs, parenting classes, therapy, AA, none of that shit. Everything that I have become because of me. And I want to explain to people why these programs are so unnecessary. Everything that you need to become, you can become because of you. You don't need a program to help you see that. You don't let them convince you otherwise. Could there be some people that need to go through, we call it the dark light of the soul. Basically, you need to burn up some karma. You need to face some of your challenges head on to be able to dig yourself out, to be able to get stronger, to handle more challenges. Yes, I think that's necessary. But saying that there was a whole group of people necessary for this to be accomplished is a fallacy. As it's completely false. And we have a responsibility to tell our stories, or we won't get the opportunity to do it at all. Groups like these are going to be coming to the surface very quickly. It's going to happen sooner than you think, just like BLM wanting to fight against racism, discrimination against black people. And then look what happened. That entire that entire group that was meant to be like a beacon of hope for people that aligned with the same purpose, the same plight, it collapsed in on itself, and it was made just worse than ever. It was a lot of rioting, a lot of just angry people doing angry things, and ultimately it made it look worse. The feminist movement, it did cover the Me Too. It was a lot of women coming out and saying that we have been abused, we are being oppressed, we have no voice. We're getting into the public and into these industries, Hollywood, some jobs, some horrible things have happened, and because you're a woman, you just had to accept that. And so many women were coming out in the light and saying no more. And then again, it just collapsed in on itself. It turned into the Karen movement. It turned into women using this as an excuse to be crazed and depraved and wanting to go out in public with their shirts off, claiming it was because I'm woman, hear me war, but it was nothing like that. Another group meant to be used as something good turned in on itself, collapsed in on itself. The Red Pill movement. This was a group of men, again, with great ideas, telling men across the world, like, you're more than just a wage slave. They keep telling you you're the cream of the crop, and they're not treating you like it. All you're being used for is to take care of a wife you might have met too young, you had kids together, you got married really early, you weren't able to live and fulfill your true life's purpose, so now you're having all these midlife crises, telling you that your toxic masculinity or your protective instincts, not all of you have your protective instincts, it's not all just toxic masculinity. You have that for a reason. You're meant to be the protector and provider of your family, but not in the way that makes you seem like that you're just not a person. You're a thing that people go to for money and for favors. That you need to get off these dating apps and start dating real women that want to admire and take care of you, and not the ones that'll you get home from a 12-hour shift, they haven't cooked anything or cleaned anything. That's what it was. And now it's devolved into these young men bringing hoes on of their podcast channels and telling them that they're 3 out of 10s and 4 out of 10s and they don't deserve high value men because they wear tube tops. What's happened? Every single one of these groups have collapsed in on themselves. It's like eventually someone starts whispering in their ear, hey, if you really want to get attention, if you really want to put this out there, then this is how you do it. And then it's just destroyed. And then people look at these beacons of hopes and into this just, they've destroyed and inverted their purpose. And I don't want that to happen here. Eventually these groups are going to come out. Eventually people that are victims of gang stalkers are going to be unafraid to tell their stories. We're going to start demanding more public recognition for the things that are going on. It's inevitable. My worry is we're going to end up just like these groups. Someone is going to be whispering in our ears saying, well, you're not getting enough attention, and the reason why is because you're not doing this and doing that and protesting and rioting and taking off your clothes and all types of depraved nonsense. I want everyone who chooses to be on this channel to know that you have a responsibility. You are taking on a responsibility to help future victims have a voice, and we cannot do that if ours is shouting nothing but hatred and disdain. We aren't going to be doing that. We're not going to take whatever is being offered that is making all of these groups turn on themselves and turn people against each other. This will be mostly nonprofit. Donations could be accepted sometime in the future, but that is going to be strictly for victims. This is not going to be some money-hungry, clout-chasing leech group that profits off of people's pain. I want to give people a voice. I want victims to stand up and feel like they have a voice. I want us to be protecting each other, having each other's backs. I want this to be a safety net. So please, if you come on here, if you choose to speak out, I'm not going to force you to. I can't make anyone do anything that they want to do. We've had enough of that. But you will have a responsibility to the people that are in this group and to the people that keep on being added every single day. The purpose of this here is to expose these lists, these programs, whatever you want to call it. We should not dismantle them. I'm more interested in taking them and doing what they do, taking the group and inverting it into something that we can use. We can be watching out for each other, protecting each other, having each other's back, being character witnesses, comforting each other. Everything that is being used in the system that is just evil and corrupt, we can use it to build a really great thing. But I can't do that alone, so please reach out if you want to take part of this, because either you tell your story or they will.